Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing.
Let me share the good that's overflowing.
And let me care for those around the world.
Let me care for those around the world.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me do it. Let me be that. And let me find my talk. There it is. Well, I guess I could have done this without this because actually it's something I've been thinking about a lot. Our theme for the coming year has been 2020 vision, and when I came up with that, it just seemed sort of cool. It was like we were moving into the year 2020, and what if we all had 2020 vision, that we could see the future, project what we want, and yet still see the immediate possibilities? Because you've known some people that are always looking down and they see what's going on, but they can't see what's possible. And then when you see some people that can see what's possible, but they don't even see what's in front of them. So I thought, wow, let's just have 2020 vision. It's not how I expected. I thought that this would mean clear vision. And I just didn't see it coming. I just did not see this year coming. I did not see a lasting pandemic. I thought that it was, I thought it was true, I thought it was real, but I couldn't even imagine that it would last this long. It wasn't in my radar that it would last this long. I didn't imagine that so many people could be unemployed for so long. I was surprised by the escalating racial unrest. And even though I knew there was political differences, I was surprised by the political division and how it just didn't seem like we could come together on anything, especially the medical welfare of our country. I was shocked. Well, there's another saying about 2020, and that is 2020 hindsight is perfect. And looking backwards at this year, I've come to realize some things. I have more faith in science and in medical experts. I have faith. I'm going to pay attention. They often know what they're talking about. But that does not mean that I'm afraid, because I know that God is my health and my protection. And yet I'm still going to be respectful. I'm still going to be courteous. I'm still not going to contribute to the problem. The last trip I took was to the Holy Land, Israel and Jordan. And we left on March 1st. And at that time, there had just been the first outbreak in Snohomish County, Everett. And there was the beginning of news of an outbreak in a nursing home in Kirkland. And my husband was afraid for me to travel, and I thought, well, honey, I'm leaving the hot spot. But as we were gone for those 2 weeks, or a little over 2 weeks, we kept hearing more and more. And we kept hearing how countries were closing down and where the virus is springing up everywhere. And it's like, whoa, this is amazing. But I also know that I prayed for the health of our group, and our group was praying for the health of our group. And now here's the miracle. The miracle was nobody got sick. Because I've taken a lot of trips to a lot of places, and everybody gets sick. I'm not everybody, but there will always be someone, more than one. There will always be a group that will get sick because travel is stressful. And the stress affects the immune system, and things are new, and food is new, and water is new, and air is new, and people bug you, and people get sick. No one got sick. No one got sick. And it was stressful. We were in crowds that were like Disneyland on a not so good day. It was bumper to bumper people, and no one got sick. Nothing. And it was like God went before us to open up a way and close a way, and we were always in the right place at the right time. We were the last group, the last bus to be able to enter Jordan before they closed the border to Israel, because Israel just had a breakout in Bethlehem, and Jordan said, nobody comes in. If we hadn't been able to go to Jordan, we wouldn't have been able to fly home very easily, because our tickets were from Jordan. We were like the last ones into the country as the country's closing down. It was like parting the tourist sea. It was amazing. So yes, I will believe in science, and I will bless medical evidence, and I will still have faith in my God, but I will be sensible. We washed our hands a lot. It's before they were passing out masks, so we would have worn masks too. The next thing I've noticed is how many people have fragile jobs and economic conditions, meaning they live paycheck to paycheck, month to month, with little savings. So that when something happens like this, it can put our whole country in a tailspin, and this is not good. I have a lot of compassion for that. And what I'm seeing from that is that I need to teach more adamantly living by faith and not by scheme and not by job, living by faith and not by sight. Because it is possible. The founders of what we call New Thought religions taught this principle and proved this principle through World War I, World War II, the Great Depression. So many other occurrences that are as monumental as this. And people didn't avoid these circumstances, but they weren't overcome by the circumstances that they were in. There's a difference. They didn't avoid, but they weren't overcome. They overcame. It's time to prove God, really. You know, in all of those times it was time to prove God. Well, now's the time to prove God. A lot of people, when things are going well and things are easy, summertime when the living is easy, we don't depend on God. We depend on ourselves. You know, it's like when things are good, who needs God? Well, really, right now, I need God, and I bet you do too. So I want to put more emphasis on that. And just talking to Beverly and Patrick this morning, I realized that in 2021, my theme is going to be, let's prove God, because God said, prove me, prove me. If I will not open up the heavens and pour forth a blessing too big to contain. So let's just do it. No matter what you're up against, now's the time to prove God. That's going to be my emphasis. Next. I have been seeing, you have been seeing, we have been seeing, because so many cell phones are everywhere, we're seeing what's probably been going on for a very long time, which is the discriminating conditions many of our fellow Americans have been dealing with. And so I realize in my 2020 hindsight that I need to speak out more about the love of God, and that the love of God is equal for all humanity, the love of God for all humanity. And that if we are going to live a spiritual life, we cannot discriminate. If we're going to live a spiritual life, we not only can't discriminate, we have to vote for people and for laws that promote equality and justice. That's what we do as a spiritual being. Because we realize that we are the place where God shows up, and we can't say, God, change this. No, it's God, change me so I can change this. Spiritual people see all as equal, and beloved and cherished and valued and important. If they weren't important, if I wasn't important, if you weren't important, if those people who have been discriminated against weren't important, they wouldn't be here, because God doesn't make mistakes. And I have been appalled by political positioning. And what that means for me in my 2020 hindsight is that I may need to make sure that I foster compromise and cooperation in my own life, so it becomes a way of life, and kindness and courtesy. You know, for people that don't want to wear a mask, well, just do it out of courtesy, because some people are afraid. And besides that virus, it seems to be on a roll right now. So do everything we can. Today's talk title is today's talk title is We Must Be Present to Win. Or I should say, we must be awake and aware of the blessings that await us, but we have to be present to acknowledge them and receive them. We can't be zoning out. We can't be numbing out. We can't be in spiritual bypass. We can't avoid or run or hide. If we just are awake and aware, there is a blessing in everything, because God is in everything. God gives to an open heart. So today I'm hoping that we will open our heart a bit, so that we can receive the blessings that are here for us. Eric Butterworth said, "A grateful heart draws great things to it." But I want to quote another spiritual master, and that's Jerry Hudson. She's a staff minister here at the center, and also the board president. And she has said, when she wanted to overcome something or get through something, her little mantra is, bless them, change me. Bless them, change me. So when I was thinking about all this, one of the best ways to move into love, to divine love, because what the world needs now is love, sweet love, more than it's ever needed anything. We need that love so much right now because love heals, love draws, love soothes, love comforts. We need love. I need love. We need love. But it's difficult to just make love happen. But we can participate in the acknowledgement of the presence of love by doing something, and that is bless. To bless. We can bless. And it starts that movement of love, and we start to feel love because we start to feel that movement through us because we are first blessed. I want to give you some definitions. I love the dictionary. I love definitions because it adds so much juice. A word can be just a word, and then you look to the meaning of it, and it's rich. So to bless means to confer or evoke divine favor. I bless you, I bless you, I bless you, I bless you. You're favored, you're favored, you're favored, you're favored. Now listen to this. A long time ago in our past, only certain people had the privilege, the honor, and the responsibility, and even the right to bless. A priest, a shaman, a holy woman, a priestess, a monk. They could confer God's blessing. Well, this is New Thought time. And New Thought is that we're all equal in the mind and heart of God, and all of us can bless. So let's just begin this. I want you to just put your hand on top of your crown chakra, rub it a little bit, tap it. You now have permission to bless. You have permission to bless. It is your right and your responsibility to bless. Now let's look at some more words. Blessing means the infusion of something with holiness. So if I bless this room, I would see that it was holy. There's a song that we sang, that was sung here not too long ago. Everything is holy now. You're blessing. You bless your room. Wherever you are, bless it. Infuse it with holiness, rightness. And to be blessed, the definition of blessed is having a sacred nature. So we get to see the sacred nature of things when we bless them, and we have the opportunity and the responsibility and the right to bless. Now, here's some lessons on blessing, because I could tell you you can bless something, but I want you to use it fully. I want you to go out there and be a big blesser. Bless, bless, bless. I forgot which tradition it was. I was reading of a Jewish rabbi. I read a lot, and then I forget where I got this, and I was trying to think of which religion was talking about blessing in this way. And it was a Jewish rabbi, and he was saying we should bless at least 100 things a day. At least. Like, this is what you do. You go around blessing. And it's not because he's just a rabbi. He was telling people that they have the power, the right, and the responsibility to bless. So how would we do that? First of all, let's just jump into the deep end. Yeah, you'll bless your dog, your cat, your children, your grandchildren, your parents, the relatives you still talk to. You love and bless them. But Jesus said, even the Pharisees do that. What he said is, you must bless those who curse you. Another way of saying that is, bless those who offend you. Bless those who mistreat you. Bless those who misunderstand you. Bless those who don't agree with you. Bless those who won't even listen to you. Bless those that you're out of sync with. Bless them. And the best way to change any situation is to bless them or bless it. Bless them, bless them. Now, I try to do that. I try to love you, bless you, love you, bless you. But I really learned the power of it when I was about 19 years old. I mean, this is such a powerful example. It's like, how could I ever not bless now? And yet I do sometimes. So I'm telling myself the story again and hoping you'll be inspired by it, and I'll be inspired by it again. I was 19 years old, and I was working my way through college. So I would go to college, and I would work 5 nights a week at a pizza parlor, the local cool pizza parlor. And I had 2 bosses, 2 managers, Tom and Ed. Tom was okay. He was all right. He was, kind of hands off. I'd been there a long time. I knew what I was doing. Ed, I couldn't do anything right. Ed was on me all the time. I couldn't cut a pizza right. I couldn't put it in a box right. I wasn't serving people right. I wasn't doing anything right. It's like, I was not on time right. Because I should be there ahead of time, blah. And finally I'd had it. He said something to me and I just, ugh. I got a 15-minute break. We clocked in and we clocked out, and I clocked out and I had 15 minutes. I didn't want to even be in the building. So I went out to my car and I was just, ugh. And if I didn't have to go to college, if I didn't have to pay for that, I was going to quit that moment. I was going to walk in and just tell him I quit. And so here's my car, and I realized that it was before power steering. So, the big wheels. I had my hands on this big steering wheel, and I was crunching it, and I heard a voice. It was a voice. And at the time, I knew it was Jesus, because I was a born-again Christian. And so if you're going to hear God, you're going to hear a voice you recognize. I wouldn't have recognized Buddha or Krishna. I wouldn't have recognized Krishna or Buddha or Muhammad. So Jesus. I heard this voice, and it says, you need to bless him. I don't want to bless him. I can't bless him. I hate him. The voice was there. There was this presence in the car. It's almost like it was in the back seat right there, telling me, informing that I had to bless him. I didn't want to bless him. I don't want to bless him. I hate him. But then I'm in the presence of love, by the way. So I said, but I bet you don't. So you bless him. You bless him. You bless him. Give him anything he wants. Give him his heart's desire. Make his life good. You do it. And it was 13 minutes into my break, and I had to rush in because I didn't ever want to clock in late ever again. And I'm rushing into the front of the building and moving past the table where Tom and Ed were sitting. And Tom got up, and Ed said, "Come here, Kathianne." I went, "Oh, bleh. Here we go again." I sat down, and I tried really hard not to glare. And he said, "I'm really sorry." "Really? I've been hard on you, and I don't even know why." "Oh, really?" "Yeah, I don't know what got into me, but I just got on a roll, and I apologize, and I'm going to just give that up because you do a great job. You're an excellent employee." "Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't notice. I lied. But I was 19 years old. I didn't know how to have a hard conversation. So I walk into the kitchen, and if I walk out of the dining room into the kitchen, there's this long probably 20-foot hallway, white, because it's a restaurant. I just remember the whiteness of the walls and walking in, and I'm just doing a little jig. Like, God is real. God's real. Blessing things changes things. It's not easy sometimes. But you have to mean it. You have to be sincere. I was very sincere. I was very sincere how hurt I was. I was very sincere about how mad I was. And I was very sincere in knowing that God wasn't mad and God didn't judge and God wanted to bless through me. And what goes around comes around. and the blessing came back. So bless the people in your life that are bugging you and the situations that are bugging you. Number 2, the second lesson on blessing is, bless what you have even if your mind says it's not enough. I'm reading something by Joel Goldsmith, and he said, if you've only got $1, bless that dollar, because that is the symbol of God's grace in you. Bless it, and as you give it, as you spend it on whatever, bless it, knowing that the substance doesn't come to you, it comes through you. And it'll seem to come through these sources, but it's really coming through your recognition of enough. So that you'll always have enough. If you say, I've got enough for this, that's blessing what you have. It's not like, if I'm going to give this and I'm losing. That consciousness will create more losing. Blessing what you have will create more having. It's definitely demonstrated and talked about and portrayed in the story of feeding the 5,000. It's the only story that shows up in all 4 Gospels. It was so important. And so the story is, Jesus was having a conversation with a bunch of people that gather around. And I was on that hill. I was on the hill that they say he was on, and I loved it. It's right up from Capernaum, I think I'm saying it right, which is right up above the Sea of Galilee on a hill with lots of rocks. And I can just see people sitting on rocks, leaning against rocks. He's up there, sort of an amphitheater thing. And he's talking. He's getting downloads. Download after download after download, and he's talking about the kingdom of God and how people should be and how they could live from God and not be subject to the Roman Empire because they're subject to God itself, and just having this amazing experience. And pretty soon, one of his disciples tugs on his sleeve. I'm making this up, but it's a good story. I'm not sure he tugged on his sleeve, but eventually one of the disciples says, we need to send the people home, which is just down the hill, by the way. We need to send them home because I bet they're getting hungry. Probably the disciple was getting hungry. Codependence. And Jesus said, well, let's feed them. And the disciple said, but we've only got this and this. So this is what Jesus did. He looked up and he gave thanks. A grateful heart draws great things to it. And then he blessed what he had and began to distribute. Now, there's many theories about what happened, but according to the scriptures, there were 12 baskets of food left over. It could be that people saw him distributing food and they realized they had a little food, so everybody started sharing food and there was plenty of food. It could be that just down the hill, it was just down the hill, people in the village said, they're not coming down for dinner. Let's go take them something and sell them. Let's sell them lunch. Vendors. If you've been to the Middle East, there are vendors everywhere. It probably was happening 2,000 years ago. Guess what? It's a vendor. Hey, would you like some fish? Would you like some bread? I don't know. All I know is that it worked out okay. Why? Because there was thanksgiving, there was gratitude, and there was blessing. So bless what you have. It's one of the reasons I like to write checks. I like to see the check go out to bless the company that gives me electricity, and bless the company that picks up my garbage, and bless the company that brings me propane. I'm so grateful. I love it. And I have enough. And I come from enough, so I will have enough. The next one. Bless what ails you so that you can convey love to it. Bless what ails you. Now that could be your body, family situation. Bless it, bless it, bless it. There was a time, it was last year, I did some tests with my naturopath, and the blood work said that there was one of my organs wasn't functioning correctly. And so I spent 3 months blessing it and having my prayer partners bless that organ. And, if it didn't shift, it would have been a big deal. But I went back 3 months later, took the blood test again, and nothing was on the tests. Either the first test was really wrong or I had a recovery through blessing. Bless what calls out to be loved, because if something's out, it's a call to be loved. It's a call to be loved. The person who is irritating you is calling you to love them. The body that has a hurt or a tweak or a ache or a pain is calling you to love it. Bless. Because you now have the authority, the responsibility, and the right to be a blesser and a blessing on the earth. So what Jerry Hudson would say is, bless them, change me. I want to talk about the change me part, because I've watched too many people try so hard to change. And it's almost like pulling on a rubber band, and you can pull and keep it and hold it, but if you relax it all, the rubber band goes back. Or you can pull, and eventually the rubber band weakens and breaks, and then you're back where you were. Let's assume that which created us can change us. And it can probably change us easier. It can probably change us easier than us trying to change ourselves. So the prayer is, change me. Father, Mother, God within, make me more loving. Father, Mother, God within, make me more understanding. Father, Mother, God within, make me more pleasant. Father, Mother, God within, remind me to stand on this spot instead of moving forward. Father, Mother, God within, make me an instrument of thy peace, of thy compassion, of kindness. I don't know how to do that, but Spirit does. We pray that we may know the love of God in such a way that we begin to be the instrument of love on earth. Because the world needs a little love. I want to close with a song. And this is one of those things that I used to do when we had a room full of people. And I would have people sing to each other. And I got comments. Oh man, did I get emails. I don't like that song. I don't like singing to people. I didn't come to church to look in somebody's eyes. But luckily, we're separated by distance, so I can sing to you and you can sing to me, and no one will be embarrassed. It'll be fine. Because there's a scripture in the New Testament that says, we can love because we were first loved. So just take that in. Just take that in. Just as you felt the Spirit wash over you in that first song, feel the love of God embrace you. For God is love and God is present. Love is present. Let's be open to it. And then we can sing something like this. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. Now use your hands. If people were in the room, I'd be having them sing to somebody and I'd say, you can love you and you can love me, and that's when they got all embarrassed and stuff. Now, some people in the front, they'd be doing it. People in the back would be going, oh, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. But you don't have anywhere to go. You're home. And you can point at me and no one will know. So let's do this. I love myself so much. Point. That I can love you so much. Point at me. That you can love you so much. That you can start loving me. I love you, I love you. I love myself so much. That I can love you so much. That you can love you so much. That you can start loving me. Now, the activity of love is to give. Love is not stagnant. That's the Dead Sea. Love flows, it moves, it nourishes, it activates. Love is a power. And we move that love, that power through blessing. So let's just change the word love to bless. Because you need to bless yourself. You need to bless your life. You need to bless your job. You need to bless unemployment. You need to bless what's before you. And you need to see that as you bless it, it must produce a good result. And then you bless others so that they can bless you back. It's wonderful. What a system. Let's do this. I bless myself so much. So I can bless you so much. And you can bless you so much. That you can start blessing me. Oh, I love myself so much. That I can love you so much. That you can love you so much. That you can start loving me. Thank you for your love. You are loved. Blessings.